In today's video, I will be going over all the closing costs in a purchase transaction from the buyer side. And once you have understood these closing costs, you will be able to get ahead of the curve and rate shop for the best lender for you. So let's get started. So I have broken these closing costs down to how you would see these on the closing disclosure or the loan estimate. So once you understand these, you'll be able to exactly see what lenders are giving you to see which lender is giving you the best deal. Not only that, it'll help you understand what your closing costs look like and what to expect on your next transaction. So let's get started. So there's main two things on the closing disclosure. One is loan costs and one is other costs. Now, all of these make up your total cash to close, which is also known as closing costs, okay? So I don't want you to get confused. So under the loan costs, you have origination charges, services that borrowers did not shop for, and services borrowers did shop for. And I'll get into these in a second. But let's get started with origination charges. I abbreviated it here. So under the origination charges, this is the first box you'll see on your loan estimate. Under the origination charges, you're gonna see points, and usually you'll see an underwriting fee or an admin fee. Now, points is what you pay when you are buying the rate downs. Say for example, the lender gave you a rate of 3.75 that had no points on it. And you tell the lender, hey, Mr. Lender, I want to be more competitive. I don't like the 3.75. I want a 3.5. Because the 3.75 is a par rate, which means there's no points on it, and you want a 3.5, in that scenario, the lender will say back to you, hey, Mr. So-and-so, it's going to cost you $3,000 in points. So if you see a points charge there, that's usually how that scenario works, right? So they're charging you points to buy down the rate. The next is underwriting fee, which most lenders charge you. It's usually around $1,000 underwriting or like an admin fee. Those are your origination charges. Then you have services borrower did not shop for. I phrase it this way because that's how it is phrased on the loan estimate and on the closing disclosure. It's sort of confusing, but that's how it is. So I want to put it in that manner so you can visualize it when you're reading the loan estimate and the closing disclosure. So services borrower did not shop for contain credit report fee, appraisal fee, flood cert, tax service. Credit report fee is pretty self-explanatory. Your lender is going to charge you that. Appraisal fee is when you pay the lender to do the appraisal for the property that you were either purchasing or refinancing. Flood cert is they make sure you're not in a flood zone. They charge you for that. And these are services usually that you cannot shop for and the lender does them for you. And then you have a tax service fee in there as well. Number 3, you have services borrower did shop for. They word it that way, but in most cases, escrow companies have standard fees. So when I say escrow companies, title companies, escrow companies, the same thing. So under this services borrower did shop for, the main charge under this are title and escrow charges. So even though it says that, in most cases, the lender, your real estate agent in that purchase transaction, which is primarily the listing party, already has a escrow company or an escrow or a title already open for you. So you can't go and say, hey, I want to do my own escrow. But that's not the norm. Because why? Because most escrow companies and title companies have similar charges. So people don't really go shop for their own escrow companies. The charges are very, very standard. Okay. So now let's look at all the different charges. So under there you have a title courier fee, which is like when they mail out documents to you or from you. Then there's a document preparation fee, another kind of like an administrative fee. Then you have a title escrow fee, which is a standard fee that excuse me, that the escrow company charges. If that's Chicago Title or North American Title, they have a standard title escrow fee. And then there's a notary fee for the notary that's going to come to your house, or maybe you're going to go sign at the escrow company. They charge you a notary fee, which is in essence like the signing fee. Then you have a lender title policy. Whenever you are doing if you're financing this purchase transaction and you have a loan on it, you're always going to have a lender title policy. Now again, you can shop for these charges, but no matter where you go, these charges are going to be very, very similar. So what a lender title policy is the lender wants you to get a policy, an insurance coverage on the loan that you're getting. So if say something happens, the lender can cover their butt. So that's a lender title policy. It's a non-negotiable. You have to get that. Then, if this is a refinance here, if you're looking at it as a refinance, if you're watching this video and you're refinancing, ignore the owner title policy. But if you're watching this video and you're a first-time buyer, then the owner title policy does apply to you. In most cases, you will want to get a title policy or title insurance that covers you on against any liens or any kind of judgments the prior owner had on the property. They will not come on you. The title company will ensure that that insurance binder covers you. So you want to get that owner title policy. So that's what that is. Okay, so these are all your loan costs. Then moving forward on the other side, you have other costs which are still under the all-encompassed umbrella of closing costs, but they're titled as other costs because they're not your loan costs. So under that you have taxes and government fees. So depending on what county you're doing this, say you're doing this in Alameda County or Contra Costa County or San Joaquin County, whatever county you are closing your transaction, each county is going to have their own set of fees. There's going to be a recording fee to record the deed with your name on it. Then there's in some cities you'll also have transfer taxes. And then in some counties, when you buy a property, they will charge you a couple $100 depending on what county you're in for that transaction. So these are government and taxes fees. Then below that you have prepaids. The first item you see here is prepaid interest. How that works is, say for example, you close your transaction on March 15th. Your first mortgage payment is not going to be till May 1st. So what happened, and mortgages are paid in arrears. So for example, the payment that you make on May 1st is going to be for the month of April, but you got your property on March 15th. So what happened to that 15 days of interest? So there's nothing ever free. So you're always paying for something. So that's what that prepaid interest is. So they would collect that 15 days of interest from you, and then your first payment will be April 1st. So that's prepaid interest for you. Then you have property taxes. You see in parentheses I put prorated. So if this is a purchase transaction, and say you bought the property and it closed on March 15th, taxes are paid by 2 times a year, in April and then in November. So if you bought it in March, most likely the previous owner probably already paid the taxes for you, but the previous owner's only going to live there till March 15th because you just bought the property. So from the time you got the house, the escrow company will prorate your taxes. So that's what that is. So you will have to pay prorated taxes depending on when you buy the property. Now the last thing is initial escrow payment or escrow account. So if you want the lender to pay your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance, which is the hazard insurance, for you, then you want to get, they're also called impounds, or don't confuse it by this. Escrow company and title company is the intermediate party that handles all this. It's confusing they do this, but these escrows are also known as impounds. So impounds and escrows is an account that the lender opens for you that multiplies money in there monthly, so they can pay your like I just mentioned to you, they can pay your April and November taxes for you. So if you want the lender to pay them for you moving forward, the lender may collect from you, depending on when it closes, 5 to 6 months of hazard insurance from you and 5 to 6 months of property taxes from you to put in this impound account, which they're going to use to make the tax and insurance payment for you. Now, if you don't like that idea and you don't want them to collect that from you, you can opt out and say, hey, Mr. Lender, I want to pay my own hazard insurance and I want to pay my own taxes. I can pay them directly to the county. Well, then this is not going to apply to you. Okay? So I did not mention numbers here because depending on what part of the country you're watching here, these fees are going to vary. The point of today's video is for you to understand all the different closing costs, and I want to make sure I cover everything here today so you get a good idea of what all the closing costs are. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that once you understand these fees, you will be able to find the best lender for you. So let's get back to that point. So I'm going to go here and talk about origination charges, because that's where you really compare lenders, because all these other fees that I mentioned to you, depending on what county you're in, if you want to take impounds or not, and when you close, and then the escrow fees, all these other fees right here are going to be fairly standard, okay, across the board. You can nickel and dime these, but for the most part, very standard fees. This is where the real stuff is when you're rate shopping, right? So one lender might give you a 3.5% rate. I'm giving you just examples at par, meaning that they're not charging you any points. Another lender is giving you 3.5 at $4,000 in points. So how do you compare? Well, you get a loan estimate from that lender, from both lenders, and you look at it, and then you look on that loan estimate, which we're going to go in detail, and you look under origination charges, and you see what rates that both of the lenders have given you, and you look at the points. If one lender is charging you points for the same rate and the other lender is not charging you points, well, you want to work with the other lender because that other lender is charging you less in points. The other stuff right here is all trivial. You need to understand it, but it's all very, very standard. Thank you for watching. I know we went over a lot of different fees today. If it was a lot to digest and you have questions from me and you want to address, please leave us a comment below and I will do my best to get back to you. Also, if you liked the video and you felt it was insightful, let me know what you thought of it. Like always, we'll continue to do great work and bring you great content. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and we'll be back with more videos for you. Until next time, this is Karan saying with Optimal Loans.